Hello everybody, Lynn DeSano from Lynn Seeks Truth. I appreciate everybody tuning in tonight for what I think is going to be a very important interview. The case of missing Chance Englebert, missing since July 6th. So many of you are interested in this case. I've had so many messages from people asking for more information, people that have seen things and heard things, and so many people are asking, where is Chance Englebert? And so tonight I'm bringing to you for the first time ever an interview with his aunt, and we are going to really get into some of the details of this case and really help put together some of the pieces that so many of you are asking. So I appreciate so much you coming and talking to me tonight. So if you could just sort of introduce how you are related to Chance.
I'm Aunt Katie. I'm actually not blood related to Chance, but I've been his aunt since the day he could say Aunt Katie.
Okay. So you're sort of the unofficial aunt.
Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
So
very close to the family.
Very close to the family. And so not related to mom's side or dad's side, just sort of family friend that became family. That's
Correct.
Awesome. Okay,
Yep.
Very good. That's great. So you've known Chance since he was...
I believe like 6 months old.
Okay. All right. Well, that's a while.
Yes.
Okay. Very good. How often were the two of you seeing each other throughout his life? Were you seeing him regularly or?
Every day until he went to school. My grandma babysat him, and so he was in our home every day while he was a toddler.
Okay.
And then after that, I moved away, but I came to football games, I came to rodeos, whatever he had going on, anybody in the family, his brothers as well. And then as he got older and went to college, I went to all of his rodeos, and even in high school, he had rodeos in Gillette, and so I would go to his rodeos there as well.
Okay.
And then he got on at the coal mine as a college student, worked driving truck, and so I helped him get that job, and he lived with me in the summertime, the last 2 years of college, and then he, after he finished college, he got on full-time and lived with me for 2 years after that.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So,
you guys live together,
yes.
so that really creates a very close relationship
Yes.
when you're living under the same roof. Okay.
Absolutely.
So how would you describe Chance's personality? What is his personality like?
Chance's personality is amazing. He walks into a room and he has this great big beaming smile and just it lights up the room.
Yes.
There's no other way around it.
Okay.
He's just an amazing soul.
Yes, that's great. He shines. Yes.
Absolutely.
Okay. So he at some point got involved with who was to become his wife. And so how long ago had they gotten married to each other?
I believe they were married on October of 2018.
Okay. And had you known her prior as well, or?
Yes, I got to know her through the summer. She'd come down and helped with cows and things like that. So.
Okay, very good. So they get married,
Mm-hmm.
and then they are having a baby pretty quickly after getting married. Is that correct?
Yep.
Okay. And so tell me about that little boy.
Banks, he's a sweet little man. He has a sparkle in his eye just like his dad.
Yeah.
Is very joyful and happy.
Okay, very good. So that's great. So
Yeah.
you got to know the little guy, you got to know Banks?
I did a little bit.
Yes,
I
yeah.
have.
And did he remind you of his daddy?
Somewhat, yeah.
Somewhat, okay.
Yeah, it's
Well,
hard. They're hard at that age because they're newborns.
Yeah.
They're
They're not, you don't know completely who they are yet. They're sort of becoming, right?
right,
Okay,
right.
very good. How did Chance feel about becoming a dad?
Chance was excited to be a dad, and he was a great dad. Every time I was around him, when Banks was there, he was changing diapers, doing what he needed to do to be a dad, and holding him, loving him, and had nothing but praise and love for that little man.
That's great. I love the picture, and you've probably noticed that I use the picture fairly often on my page of him holding his son, because I think that's such a sweet picture, and I think you see that pride of, the daddy pride as he's holding his baby, which I think is really neat.
Yes,
so
I agree.
Yeah, that's great. So tell me, how did you come to find out that he was missing?
His mom had called me and said, would you mind calling Chance or texting Chance that Bailey can't find him. And so he's always had me and him have a great relationship and a close relationship. And so I called, and his voicemail was full. So I sent him a text and said, hey, bud, just have a question for you. Could you give me a call or a text or whatever you have a chance to do? And later on that night, he did send me a text that made no sense whatsoever. Okay. And that was the last time. And then the next morning I kind of let it go because I thought, well, maybe he went back and they found each other and they were talking and stuff, and I wasn't going to bother him. He's an adult.
Sure.
And so I asked Dawn the next morning, and she said, no, he still didn't come home, and I texted his wife, and she said the same thing.
Okay. So you weren't immediately panicked. I mean,
No.
Right? His mom calls and says, "Hey, reach out to him because something's going on. We're not hearing from him." But you weren't like, "Oh my gosh!"
No.
You weren't code redding or freaking out. You were like, "Okay, well, there was
Right.
something weird or
Right.
something like that." Okay.
You know, everybody has that
Sure.
time in their life where they need to have some space from everybody.
Sure. Okay. So that was your perception.
Right.
Okay. So I know that some of the information you have, you've gotten through other people, right? You don't know because you were not actually there
Correct.
when this all happened, right?
Right.
Because you were where you live
Mm-hmm.
and they were where when this happened?
Gary, Nebraska.
In Gary, Nebraska. Okay. So some of the story of the day is sort of through secondhand.
Correct.
So knowing that, I know that you're repeating the best you know to the
Mhm.
best of your knowledge, and I completely understand that, and I think everyone watching this will get that too. But because of the close connection with the family, you know some things.
Right.
So let's kind of walk through that day. So that morning, what do you know sort of about the beginning of the day? What was going on? What was happening that day?
What I know is that he went golfing with some of his wife's family.
Okay.
And then
And why were they in Gearing? I mean, her family lives there, but was there a special event they were there for?
4th of July.
Oh, 4th of July. Okay, they were there for the 4th of July.
Yep.
So the family gets together and they go to her family's home in Gearing,
Mhm.
and they're all hanging out.
My
Okay.
understanding.
That's your understanding.
Yep.
Okay. So so that morning they decide they're going to go where or do what that day?
I believe that they had a plan. The guys had a plan to go golfing.
Okay. So, and did that happen?
I believe so.
As far as you know.
Mhm.
Okay. So they're at the golf course. So it's I'm assuming maybe it's a bunch of the guys. It's maybe some uncles or cousins or
Yeah.
right, something like that.
Yeah, I
Everything-
really don't know who all was there.
Okay, so it's just some of his family or some of her family, but it's only the guys.
I don't know that.
Oh, you don't know that for
either.
sure? Okay,
Nope, I
all right.
don't.
So do we know if Bailey golfed?
I have no idea.
We're not sure. Okay, so they golf. Do you know, was that normal? Did anything unusual happen while they were golfing, or as far as you know, was it
Yeah.
just a normal golf game?
I think it was a normal golf game.
Okay, normal golf game. Okay,
Mhm.
so then what happens after the golf game? Then what happens?
I believe that he had called Bailey and said he wanted to go home or leave the golf course, and she went and picked him up. And on the way to where they were staying, he made sure she understood that he wanted to go home, and she wanted to stop and get the stuff for the baby and their clothes and stuff. And
Okay.
Then when they got to that destination, he I guess needed a break from all of it and walked away from.
Okay. Do we know why he wanted to go home? Or do we have any sense of why he was saying, "I want to go home"?
I don't. I mean,
We're not sure.
I-
Okay. So some of the people that have communicated to me, not you specifically, but other people have communicated to me, have said that there was some type of an argument or disagreement that occurred. Do we know if that's true? Is that rumor?
Yeah.
Where do we know?
I don't know because I wasn't there.
Okay.
I don't want to make that accusation.
Yes.
Because if I'm not physically there, I don't have
Okay.
I don't have an answer for that.
Okay, so my understanding was that at one point Bailey had said that herself, but I obviously was not there either. So I guess we'll have to do a little more digging to find out exactly whether there was or wasn't. And because, like I said, someone told me that she had stated that in some interviews. So I'll maybe get a chance to talk to Bailey a little bit more about that. I'm hoping to in the future. So he wants to leave. They go to the house to get things, right?
Mm-hmm.
Obviously something's happened and he wants to go home. We don't know why.
Right.
And does she go and get the stuff?
Yes.
She goes and gets the stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And at that point, he
Takes a walk.
disappears.
Mm-hmm.
He takes a walk. Okay.
Yeah.
So I have seen myself some of the footage of him walking. There's been videos that have been sent to me of some cameras with him walking.
Mm-hmm.
When I look at those, I see just sort of a little tiny speck of something moving across the screen. So have you seen those videos?
I have not seen any of the videos.
Okay. So I need to send you those videos, and I will post on this page as well some of those videos for you to watch. When you watch the videos, you can't tell who it is. You just see this sort of speck walking by, and they're saying that that's him. So based on those videos, I think there's a little bit of a sense of what direction he went, they believe. Do you know where he was going?
I don't know where he was going for sure. I've heard two different stories. One, he was going to Kimball area, and one was he was going to Torrington.
Okay.
So,
And where did you get that information? Is that from people he was talking to, or where does that come from?
that comes from what the police have said about what Bailey has told them about what
Okay.
he told her and what his friend had told him.
Okay.
So,
So he was calling, am I right? He was calling and texting people during this walk. He's walking it off for some reason. He's wanting to walk away.
correct.
He's calling and texting people.
Right.
Are you one of the people that he called and texted?
He did text me, but it didn't make any sense. And it was at like 9:08 at that night is when
Okay.
I received the text I got.
When you say it doesn't make any sense, are you saying that it looked like what I would call a butt text, where it's just a bunch of random letters and it doesn't mean anything, or just more that you're not sure what he meant?
No, the first word was very clear of what it is, and then an emoji face, which wasn't Chance at all,
Oh.
and then some gibberish.
And then gibberish, meaning letters that don't make sense.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like it was a word, but he didn't get it spelled out right, and that's not Chance either. He was when he texted.
Okay. So this text come in that's very unusual. It's not like him. So you get this and you're probably thinking, what is this?
I did.
Yeah.
But then I thought, well, maybe he saw my text and it had been raining. Maybe he wiped his phone or whatever, and that's what happened when he wiped his phone.
Okay.
I didn't read into the text.
You didn't. Did you reply to the text?
I did reply to the text.
Okay. And what did you reply?
I replied, "Are you okay?"
Okay.
What do you mean?
Yes. Okay. And then does he reply back?
No.
He does not. Okay. So the people that he talked to, my understanding is he talked to one of his guy friends. Has that guy friend told you anything about that conversation and what was said?
I have not. No, I have not really sat down with Matt.
Okay. Okay. So we know they talked, but we don't really know what they talked about.
No.
It would be safe, I think, to assume that he was probably trying to find a ride or he's trying to get picked up. Would that be a safe assumption?
Yeah, that's what I've been told through other people is that he asked would you come get me?
Okay, something along the lines of that.
And
Okay.
his friends had been drinking all day and said, "I'm sorry, we can't."
4th of July weekend,
Right.
everybody's having fun, and they're like,
Exactly.
no, it's not a good, okay.
Yep.
So do we know when was the last communication from Chance to anyone? Do we know what time that was?
I believe it was the last text to me.
Okay, and that was what time?
9:08.
9:08 at night.
Mhm.
Okay, so it's gotten dark, and my understanding is a storm was coming or had come.
Yep.
By 9 o'clock, was it raining at that time?
It might have been down there. I don't remember.
Okay,
It
so
wasn't where I was at, but I believe they had got a big storm around that time.
okay, so knowing Chance is a farm boy.
Mm-hmm.
He's a rodeo guy. He's
Right.
used to the outdoors. He's used to the weather, right?
Mhm.
People like that are used to that stuff. What would you think if he's walking and it's raining? What would you think he would do, knowing him?
Go find a bar and sit it out.
Okay, go find just a bar, someplace
Yeah.
dry, get a roof over his head.
Yes.
Okay, something like that.
Absolutely.
And is there any reports of that? Him being seen at a bar, him being seen someplace?
No.
Nothing like that.
Mm-mm.
Okay. So it really just almost appears that he goes for a walk and he vanishes.
Yep.
Yes. Do you hear, I've heard a number of theories. Some of the theories I've heard is, that he's got picked up by somebody, that he possibly drowned in the river because of the rain. What are some of the theories? Are there other theories you've heard besides those?
To me, they're just theories, and it doesn't
Okay.
matter. What I want is the truth, and
Yes.
I want Chance.
Yes. Okay.
I want to know that he's okay, or if he's not okay, what are our next steps?
Yes.
So
In your mind, is there a possibility that he just walked away?
it's possible anytime.
Okay.
I mean, I wouldn't say that that's not his nature. I mean, when he moved out of my house, he was very emotional. And Katie, you're not going to be mad at me. I don't,
Okay.
So I can't see him walking away from all of us. I
Okay.
just can't see that. But I mean, reality is, it's possible.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Does that make sense?
Yeah. So you're sort of saying there's a possibility, but you doubt it.
Right.
Is that sort of
Yes,
okay?
absolutely.
Yeah. Do you believe that he would decide that he doesn't want to be a dad? Would he be the type that would say, I don't want to be a dad. I'm overwhelmed by being a father.
Absolutely not.
Okay. Because he loved the boy.
Mm-hmm.
The boy was very important to him.
Yeah, he wouldn't do that.
Okay. So, do you have any sense at all of what's happening in the police department? Do they call you and give you updates? Does the family get in updates?
I don't believe unless we call for updates, and sometimes we don't even get a phone call back. So, and I know it's a small agency. I know they're overwhelmed. I know that if something else is going on in the town, that the looking for Chance comes to a halt because they don't have enough people. We all understand that, but ask for some help, please. You know,
Okay.
if there's other agencies that are willing to help, could you reach out to them and help?
Okay.
Ask them to help.
Based on you saying that, I'm getting a sense that there's not other agencies helping. Are you saying that
Not that I know of.
Not that you know of. The Gering police are handling this on their own?
Yes.
Okay. No out of state intervention, no.
There at one time we were told that there was I don't know if it's the Nebraska Patrol or what
Okay.
it was, but
Highway
we
Patrol
never
or
I never heard anything past that.
Okay.
So
Do you know if there have been sightings of him? People that have called in and said they've seen him?
there has been many sightings of people saying they have called in and talked to the Gering police. I don't know. They say they've researched all of them, but then if those people call back, they don't return phone calls. At least in one case that I know of, that a lady has reached out to me and asked me why they haven't returned a phone call. I'm like, I don't know, I'm not there. Just keep trying, do your best.
Okay, so am I understanding this correctly? That you're telling me that there's people that believe they've seen him, that have called the police, and the police don't call them back?
That's the case that I know of personally, yes.
Okay, and where are these sightings taking place? Are they local? Are they in Florida?
Everywhere.
Where are they?
They're everywhere.
They're
I've
everywhere.
heard of Montana, Kansas, Oklahoma,
Okay.
Wyoming.
Okay,
So
they're popping up all over the
Right.
place. Okay,
this is pictures everywhere.
sure.
So
Okay.
but what we ask is if you would take a picture, so you can at least send a picture to the cops.
Yes.
I think that makes a huge difference too. If there's not cameras in the place that you're at, if you have a picture, everybody has a cell phone, take a picture of who you think, if you think it's him.
Sure. Okay. So there's been a lot of speculation about, did someone do something to him? There's been a lot of talks about that. Did someone do something to him? So one of the things that was communicated to me, not by you, but by someone else, was that Bailey, his wife, had specifically tried to get that death certificate within a matter of a couple days. My understanding is that was said in a room with a group of people. There were a number of people that heard it. Were you in that room when that happened?
I was not in that room.
Okay.
So I don't know that for
So
sure.
okay. So there is obviously speculation about whether her family liked him, had a good relationship with him, how they felt about him. People are talking about that. Do you have firsthand knowledge of how they felt about Chance?
I do not. I have no idea.
Okay.
I didn't know her family at all.
Okay. Did he ever say anything to you about how he felt about them?
No.
Okay. So you one way or the other, you're not really sure where they're at.
I have no opinion or no thoughts on
Yes. Okay. So his parents,
Mhm.
how are they doing?
that. They're struggling. Every day is a struggle. They struggle to get up and breathe every day, and it's a new normal for them that isn't a good normal.
Yes. Yeah. And how are they? What are they doing? Are they putting up posters? How are they? Because I'm guessing that they want to feel like they're doing something to find their son. So what are they doing?
I know his mom every day has a list of people she contacts and calls,
Okay.
and spreads the word via internet and Facebook and however else they can. If somebody contacts them or reaches out to them, they do their best to give them the information that they have.
Yeah. But they're heartbroken.
Absolutely.
Yes.
You know, that's their son.
Yes. Do they have other children?
They do. They have 2 other boys.
They have 2 other boys.
Yeah.
Okay. And so have you talked to those boys? Do you know those the
I do.
brothers?
Yep.
Okay. Have you talked to them? How are they doing and what are they doing?
Same thing. You know, they're both trying to finish school, and so they're trying to finish and get their degrees so they can continue on. You know, and so this has just been a struggle for all of them. They have to get up every day and figure out how they're going to go about their day. You know,
Yes.
and even for myself, I get up every day and that's the first thing I think of
Yes.
is Chance, and I know there's 10 times worse than mine.
Mm-hmm. Right. Their pain is,
Right.
yes, absolutely.
So
So, how could people help? I know a lot of people have reached out to me and said, I want to help. I want to get involved. What can I do? So what can the public be doing to help find Chance?
just keep sharing his story and remembering what a great person he was, and keep an eye out for him. And if you see him, you know, take a picture, or if you think it's him, take a picture, contact the police, contact if you know a family member and ask, is this him? This is where we saw him. Or spread every Facebook thing that you see that's, you know, wanted posters. And there's a lady that puts a prayer and reaches out to God with his poster every single day. She's a local friend of ours, and send those out. They're positive. We want positive interaction about this. We want the good things and good people to share everything.
Absolutely. What's your gut tell you? Do you believe that Chance is still alive, or what does your belly tell you?
You know, it doesn't matter what my belly tells me.
Yeah.
Because what I want is for Chance to be alive and out there, and if he is and he doesn't want to come home, that's fine. We just want to know you're okay, bud, and that we love you and that you're here. We're here for you no matter what happened.
Yes, yeah. He's so lucky to have family that loves him so much that will not stop looking.
We won't.
You won't stop looking?
Nope.
Yes, until he's found. Yes, yeah.
I mean, even at my house, I have a sign on my door that tells him, come in. You know, there's a phone charger, eat, sleep, do whatever you need.
A sign or note you put on your door.
Yeah, and it will be there until the day we find him.
Yes, in case he just happens to come to your door to know, come in and get what you need.
He knows that anyway, but I don't want him to know for sure if there's any question.
Yes.
So.
Yes. Have you seen Banks?
I haven't seen Banks but once.
Okay. Are Grandma and Grandpa, Chance's parents, are they seeing their grandbaby?
I think they have a few times.
Okay. Yep. Okay. I hope that maybe gives them a little piece. They get to hold on to a piece of their son through their grandson.
Yes.
So that's really lovely. I appreciate so much you talking to me and being so open. I'm so sorry for your pain. I'm so sorry for your loss. Just know there's so many people looking for him, and I won't stop either until he's found. I will continue to share his story and his face until we have answers, until the truth is found. And so thank you for being brave. I know this isn't easy. This is a hard thing to talk about, but thank you for being his voice, because he doesn't have one right now, and you are it, and I appreciate that so much. So thank you so much to all of you that are following the story of Chance Englebert. I ask you to share his picture, share his story. Don't stop looking. It's better to be wrong. If you see someone and you think it's him, it's better to be wrong than to not ask questions. You see someone at a gas station. You see someone sitting on the side of a building. You see someone that looks like they might be him. Take a risk and walk over and talk to that person. Like Katie said, take a picture and get it to the police, because it's better to be wrong than to later wonder if you were right. So please take the time to keep his face out there, help in every way you can, and I appreciate so much all of you tuning in tonight to watch this. I will be in touch. I am planning on continuing to follow the story. There is much more information to come out ahead, so please stay tuned, and everyone, I hope you have a good night. Thank you so much.